welcome to Think Tech Hawaii. My name is Kim Lau, and this show is called Hawaii Rising. The focus of this show is people helping people to develop the economy and the community, because that's the only way we'll be able to create a sustainable future for Hawaii. So today, let's talk about art. Who doesn't enjoy watching a good play or taking a stroll through your local museum or gallery? Yeah, sure, art is nice to look at, nice to spend some time participating in. But so many of us don't realize the true impact that art has on our lives, our community, and our economy. So let's talk about the triple bottom line. The triple bottom line is developing human or creative capital. So that's social. The second part of the triple bottom line is fostering economic development. So that's financial. And the last part of the triple bottom line is strengthening social and community bonds, so environmental. So how does this apply to art? Well, in fact, some statistics show from the Washington, D.C. Theater, they state that theater makes our lives better because theater is a sophisticated expression of a basic human need. It brings people together, contributes to education and literacy, sparks economic revitalization, and influences how we think and feel about our own lives. Not just theater, but arts in general, was found by the University of Pennsylvania researchers to actually improve healthcare. In 2014, they did a study that showed healthcare institutions that provided arts programs for patients, family, and staff. So nearly 1/2 of our nation's healthcare programs actually do this, and the results show that 78% of participants believe that the arts program results in shorter hospital stays, better pain management, and less medication. Arts also has a social impact that shows participation in the art shows higher civic engagement, more social cohesion, higher child welfare, and lower crime and poverty. Also, arts in general has been shown to improve academic performance. Students with 4 years of art or music in high school average 100 points higher on the SAT test. They have better attendance rates, they have higher reading comprehension, and participation in the arts helps them build better self-esteem. Additionally, University of Arkansas researchers show that by attending live theater, students were able to enhance their literary knowledge, enhance tolerancy, and enhance empathy. From the business perspective, Americans for the Arts show that in 2014, 97% of business executives agreed that creativity is becoming more important in the workplace. 74% of businesses say that arts offers networking opportunities to develop new businesses. And also for other merchants around areas of art, attendees going to these art shows actually spend $24.60 per person on average in the community just because they're attending these events. So why do people attend art events? The National Endowment for the Arts in 2015 cited that people attend art events to learn, that 64% of people attend events to learn, 73% attend to socialize, 63% attend to experience new things, and 51% attend to support the community. So as you can see, arts touches all 3 parts of the triple bottom line, and the arts actually can transform people and places. So to talk more about the arts today, we have Donna Blnachard here from Kumukuhua Theater. She's the managing director. And we have Richardson, who's the executive director at the Arts and Marks Garage. Thank you and welcome. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
So today we're just going to start off, where are you guys from? Are you both locally from Hawaii? And what brought you here?
I'm from the Midwest. I'm from the Chicago region, we call it, the Chicago region of Indiana, the northwest corner of Indiana. I spent some time in Chicago and then went back to my home region and was managing a theater there for quite some time. I was also in nonprofit support and came here because I was looking for a specific type of theater of place, or theater that is all by and or about people in that location. And Kumukuhua Theater is the only one I found in the country. So at the same time, I was looking for them, they were looking for someone to help them through a difficult financial time. I had done that with another theater before, so we met synchronistically, and now I'm here.
I'm from Los Angeles. I'm here by way of Maui. I've been here about 20 years, in Chinatown for about 16, 18 years. Working at the Arts at Marx for 15 years now.
And what's made you want to stay here and continue doing what you guys are doing?
I love the downtown scene, and for a while I lived right there in Executive Center and worked right there in Kumukuhua, and I spent all of my time. The entire year I lived downtown, I put gas in my car twice. That's how much I love downtown. We have a vibrant, cool slice of life going on down there, and it's a big slice. You know, there's a lot of different people in that scene, but it is such a microcosm of all that is good, I think, and some of the rough stuff that helps you appreciate the good more.
That's true. And I really enjoy the downtown core as well, and live very nearby and have for a while. I did a year as a pedestrian in Chinatown where I hardly ever left, and that was a mistake. But since then, it's been a great place to activate a kind of petri dish of creative endeavors, and that's how I look at the Arts at Marx as a kind of experimental setting for people to try things out.
And so just to be clear, this setting that we're talking about, both of your organizations are located in the downtown Chinatown area. Mm-hmm. And actually yours is in a historic building, right?
We're in the King Kamehameha V post office on Merchant and Bethel Streets. Very near Murphy's Tavern is what I always tell people. If they have any trouble finding us, they know that Murphy's is there. And there are still a lot of people who don't know a theater exists there.
Right.
And part of that is the age-old arts conundrum. They're always begun by a group of artists. We were artists and academics, and these are not a group of people who you would necessarily go to for marketing and financial advice. Let's just say that. So we've been around for 45 years. In this wonderful little 100-seat black box theater that we do amazing work, and we have a very loyal group of people who have been with the some of whom have been subscribing to the organization ever since we began 45 years ago, but they're not necessarily telling all their friends. It hasn't been splashed around that much.
And Kumukuhua was originally actually founded by artists, like you said.
Yeah, at the university. It was a group of grad students studying playwriting. And one of those playwrights, I don't know exactly how the conversation started, but one of those playwrights is from Australia, Dennis Carroll, who is still an emeritus board member with us. In a lot of other countries, including Australia, there is more theater of place. It's just a given in these places that you encourage your local playwrights to write your local stories. And it does amazing work for the community, for the individuals writing and creating the pieces and working on them, and then the people who come to see them, and it's this wonderful cauldron of arts and locality combined.
And Arts at Marx, I'm going to guess that's located at Marx Garage.
That's right, and it's been there. That building's been around from about 1949 or so. It's becoming a landmark in its own right, as a modern piece of architecture. I went to a charrette at Hawaii Theater maybe 14 years ago, where they recommended that building be eliminated to make the downtown area nicer. But since then, luckily, we've all come to appreciate that kind of mid-century stuff a little bit more, and And it's a nice home for us. We're right under the down ramp of the parking garage, and it's an awkward little corner that's just right for us.
And how was that started? And were you always under the parking garage there?
Yeah, it was empty for quite a while, a number of years. There was a consortium of groups put together by Hawaii Arts Alliance, Hawaii Craftsmen, Tim Bostock, I know, was at the table, and others, and they asked each other, what do you need? What do we all need? And they came up with a few key things. That was office space to run their arts organizations out of instead of their kitchen tables. The other was a place to perform and a place to show work. So that's our triad that we've focused on for many, many years. Since then, we've added a place to live and work in the downtown area to give artists a kind of grounding, a kind of home base in the area. So it's grown a little bit.
So you're saying that Arts and Marks provides all of these things, a place for artists to live, a place for them to show their work, to have office space, as well as to perform.
Well, we do all that, and we do more.
And
but
more.
The live work is about a block away, and we're really fortunate to have embarked upon a live work project about 10 years ago, and it's operating with 19 units now, and that's a fantastic resource. But it's about a block away.
So before we go into exactly all of the other stuff, I mean, you guys just aren't a theater and you just aren't an art gallery. Let's talk about what your actual jobs are at your organizations.
Well, on paper, I handle marketing and fundraising and general management of Kumukuhua Theater.
And do you also help with like the productions and all that kind of stuff?
That's not part of my job description. I'm an artist myself foremost. And our artistic director, Harry Wong, very generously brings me into the conversation, and beyond, here's the season I'm thinking about for next year, what do you think about marketing it? He asks for my artistic opinion also. We get to have some nice conversations about it. It's good. That side of my brain has to be fed every now and then too.
So you're actually a performing artist?
Yeah.
What's your background? Okay, because you weren't always in nonprofits, were you?
No, I have a BFA in acting from Wright State University. I studied at their conservatory there, and then moved to Chicago to continue to start my career. So I waited tables, which is what we all do, and I did some acting gigs here and there, but I also, the left side of my brain, the business side of my brain, is very hungry too. I'm kind of oddly right down the middle, and so I started getting involved in the business of running a restaurant and started falling in love with that too. So I became an actor, and I discovered that it's really nice when you know you have a regular check coming in to pay your mortgage, once I got into that portion of my life. So I started being involved in theaters as a hobby. Until I was working with a theater that was struggling financially, and I could say, well, here's what you need to do. That's what you need to do to fix that. And that board, I was on the board. That board asked me to become the managing director instead. So that's how I ended up here.
That's amazing that you have a theater background and also a business side, because that helps so much with the business that you're running.
Oh yeah, I'm kind of a freak, and it's a good place for me to fit in. I found my niche.
Yeah, definitely. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we get back, we're going to talk about Rich's background and his rich history. Thank you.
Aloha, how you doing? I'm Gordo the Tech Czar, here on Think Tech Hawaii, where we co-host Hibachi Talk, where we talk about technology and bring in all kinds of cool guests. Also, my co-host with me today is
Andrew the security guy. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching Think Tech Hawaii, and thanks for watching Hibachi Talk. We also have Angus.
And you there, lad? It's Angus. I bring in all kinds of wee things. Oh, look, you can see my lips moving.
Aloha, this is Maria Mera, and I'm here to invite you to my bilingual show, Viva Hawaii on Think Tech Hawaii, every other Monday at 3 p.m. We're here to inform, motivate, and entertain you. Join us. Hola, soy María Mera y estoy aquí para invitaros a mi show bilingüe Viva Hawái en Think Tech Hawái cada 2 lunes a las 3 de la tarde. Estamos aquí para informaros, motivaros y entreteneros. Apuntaros.
Hi, and welcome back to Think Tech Hawaii. This program is called Hawaii Rising, and my name is Kim Lau. Today we have Donna Blnachard from Kumukuhui Theater and Rich Richardson from the Arts at Mark's Garage. Now, Rich, it's your turn to tell us your background and where you came from.
Well, I have a degree in interdisciplinary arts, which sounded completely useless until I found the Arts at Mark's Garage, because it has to do with knowing just a little bit about a lot of different art medium. And it's come in handy because I deal with so many people using so many tools to tell their story, get their message across. But personally, I come from more of a visual arts background, making goofy paintings and showing at whatever gallery would show them, and also specializing in hanging shows for others. Always trying to find a place for people to say what they wanted to say, and make sure there's a place in our community to say what they tell their stories.
So you've been talking a lot about that, about art as an expression, about people finding their voice, telling their individual stories. Is that something that you found exists in both your organizations?
I think our place is a great place to try things out, and your place too.
That's what we're all about. That's our mission, really.
To get people, once your bills are paid and there's a roof over your head, you have clothes, you want to tell people about your day. And this is a formal platform to do that. And that's a human instinct. It goes back way to the beginning of time. And we're providing that kind of fireside where the cave people will come back and relate their experience to their friends and family. And we need to preserve those spaces to do that, I think.
So you mentioned your mission. What exactly is your mission? Maybe Donna first, and how are you meeting that mission?
There's 4 prongs to the mission. We encourage local playwrights. We put local work on our stage. It's all works that are written by and or about people here. We help to train and develop the artists responsible for that work, so the actors, the designers, the technicians. And then we also have to develop the audiences who appreciate our work. Because we don't do, I always make this comparison, but we don't do Fiddler on the Roof. We don't do Singing in the Rain. We do shows you have never heard about before. And so it takes some time to develop the audiences who are going to appreciate that work as well. So we constantly accept play submissions from people. We have our artistic director and a few others are happy to work with writers, playwrights on developing their scripts. We have a slate of 5 main stage shows that we do every year. We have classes and workshops and mentorships and internships for the artists involved. We also have what we call a Dark Night series where other groups can say, hey, I want to do something at Kumukuhua, and while we are running a show, so while our theater is set up and ready to run a show, on the dark nights, or the nights that we don't have a show going, other people can have a show in Kumukuhua Theater.
And I think you have a really interesting example of a recent dark night. Like you actually had a rock band or something?
Oh yeah, we had Storm was in the house doing Medusa, a metal opera. It was really awesome, and kudos to those people. Storm is a great goth metal band, progressive goth metal band, in town, and they said, I interviewed them on my show, Center Stage, which takes place here on Wednesdays at 2 o'clock.
Thanks, Clay.
I interviewed Storm, and they said, yeah, we're developing this show, Medusa, the metal opera, and they were interested in Kumu for it, and I said, oh my God, yes. Now, we had that this past year. We had another musical that was a musical written by 2 women who they set out to write a Broadway musical about our relationship to money and how money affects our thoughts about ourselves. And this is a musical about writing a musical,
Oh.
Broadway musical. That sort of experimental piece, is not going to be able to get in just any theater, and we
Right.
offer a really affordable way to do that. Yeah, and then developing our audiences, we also have a subscription that we offer that gives those subscribers get invited to observe auditions, part of the rehearsal process, the play readings, as well as the usual audience experience. We had a class this year on critical analysis of theater. So we really invite our audience to be critical of the work that they see and understand what our goal is so that you know whether or not we're reaching it, and we love that feedback loop.
So how do you get into this feedback loop? Is there like a email distribution list, or where can people sign up to, maybe if they haven't come to
And
Kumu yet?
sorry, Donna, before
Yeah.
you answer that question, we actually have a caller on the line.
Oh.
Caller, you have a question?
What?
Yes, it's for Donna. Now, how would you handle something that's controversial? Let's say, like sexual in nature or politically sensitive in nature. How would you handle hanging something like that in your lobby?
So there's a caller on the line, and he is asking, how would you handle something controversial?
Oh, at Kumu.
Yeah.
I don't know how to handle something that isn't controversial at Kumu. We are very open about producing shows that really tell stories that are difficult to tell in Hawaii, and it's important to us that we offer that platform. For example, we did one of the shows that we did this year was called Not One Batu, and here in Hawaii, Batu is methamphetamine, and it was a play written by a woman from the North Shore about the meth culture on the North Shore. She's a recovering addict herself, who has she's now in Chicago doing a really wonderful job and has started a theater there. So the show was difficult to watch. It was very controversial. It was an hour in the life of a woman who is trying to stop smoking meth, but she is still selling it. That's how she is earning a living. And dealing with her mom, who's a meth addict, and her friends, very controversial stuff. Okay, so here's what we do. Anytime we feel the responsibility anytime we're presenting something like that, we presented also all sorts of hotline information and educational information for our guests, so that if you are interested about this, or you feel that this has touched your life, here is all this awareness information and people that you can get in touch with.
All right, so Kumu often handles very controversial things. Thank you, caller, for asking.
Yeah.
So again, how do people voice their opinions and get into your feedback loop? Is there like a newsletter they can sign up for, or how would they go about doing that?
Yeah, if you come to our website, you can sign up for a newsletter, and there are reviews that are publishing on hittingthestage.com, where people post reviews for all of the shows, and sometimes there becomes a little debate that you can see on there. But if you sign up for our newsletter, you get informed about everything that we do, from the dark nights to the classes and everything. And on those newsletters is, how you contact me directly. And it's funny, a lot of people were kind of freaked out initially when I put my cell phone number on our newsletter.
Who does that?
I do, and you know what? It's never been abused. I did that at the last theater that I was with too. It has never been abused. People do email me directly all the time, and they will say, I really liked this show, here, blah, blah, blah. Or they will say, I found this show offensive, and here's why. And I really respect that. I want that to happen. I share that information as it's appropriate with our artistic director, the play development committee, the board, as appropriate. And I am grateful for it. And doesn't mean that we're going to change the way that we do things. It may change the way we inform people about what we are doing at Kumu. We are really we are really open to feedback. We are the community. We only exist because of the community, and every one of us is a man on the street in that theater. I'm the only import. I'm imported.
So Rich, did you put your cell phone number on your website as well?
Actually, it's a real credit to our community that it is so trustworthy and such a well-behaved group of people. Our gallery is very well respected. People
Right.
have incredible manners when they're at our space and treat it with such respect. I have nothing but admiration, and every time I'm missing something, I'll think, oh, the teenage poets got the microphone, and then I'll find it under my desk. So I jump to conclusions that aren't necessary because the space is very well taken care of by the community, and I think that's a testament to how valuable it might be to people.
So do you want to share maybe what's the mission of arts, and how do you guys fulfill your mission when, after we've been talking about Kumu, how is it different?
Our place is dedicated to promoting the arts and letting people experience them and also participate and show off what they have to share. We're also really interested in how our community develops our physical neighborhood and the businesses, the social infrastructure of our neighborhood. So we're interested in community redevelopment, I guess, and how the arts impact what once was quite a derelict
Right.
part of town. And there's been hundreds, I'd say, of new businesses begun since Arts at Marks and Hawaii Theater and First Friday and and now Donna's on our side. So we got a real momentum, and the town is really turning around, I believe.
So now, what is your involvement in these activities, such as First Friday or some other like Hullabaloo and things like that? What does arts do with those events?
The street events and First Friday both originated in part at Mark's Garage. So I'm part of a kind of a cadre of partner organizations. So I don't do all the work by any means, but we have 12 different groups there that all have something going on, and that's why we appear to be so busy. It's because we've got all these ambitious, creative people working in our space to make things happen.
And what other things have both of you seen in the community that's changed because of your presence in, say, the downtown or Chinatown area?
Gosh, we're a little off the beaten path. Unless people are parking at Harbor Court, then they walk. If you're not coming to Kumu, you might be walking by Kumu to get at what's going on in the evening in Chinatown. Our area, so our little theater at our area at night, were it not for our theater, would just be another dark block that I know a lot of people in the area really appreciate having us there. And I know this firsthand because we just last year renegotiated a new 20-year lease for the theater.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it was really wonderful. A lot of people jumped in and were willing to write letters, including Jay Fidel, the producer of Think Tech, wrote a very nice letter to say, we need this organization here, not only for all of the wonderful artistic reasons, but our presence brings life that is a shining light. When we talk about there's a lot of shady life going on in Chinatown and the downtown area at night, but the way you combat that is you bring light.
Right.
So you bring people who are there to spend money, eat and drink and enjoy, and that is what combats the problem. So
Exactly.
we're there helping to do that.
In our neck of the woods, I think the strip of Hotel Street between Nu'uanu and Smith is a real good example of the activation that occurs when people look at the urban core with fresh eyes.
Right.
When creative people set their sights on this wonderful set of buildings that are sealed in perpetuity at this certain height. It can't be built upon.
Right.
Wonderful places that are filling up now with creative businesses on the second story that used to be vacant or used as storage or worse. And having a gourmet farm-to-table restaurant on the corner of Hotel would have been unheard of just a few years ago. Having people switch from Chinatown being announced on the incoming flights as a place to avoid
Right.
to a place to go to was a big landmark. And having the buses now stop, the Japanese tourists coming in and enjoying Chinatown instead of being
Staying away.
cloistered in the hotel compound. So these are some of the changes that we're seeing. They're kind of landmark turns of events.
Yeah.
Alright,
And for
well-
both of us, everything that we do, if you want to see, and Arts at Mark's Garage was the second arts organization I fell in love with in Hawaii. Both of us force people to come in downtown and see, and we say it's safe, it's okay, and we have partnerships, and we have, friends that, and while you're here, go to Grand and go to some of these wonderful restaurants downtown, and people try it out and recognize that it's really not that place to be afraid of anymore.
That is so amazing, that the impact you bring to downtown. So I'm hearing we have another caller. We'll go ahead and take that call right now.
Yeah, thanks for taking my call. Listening to this conversation, I'm thinking about an arts center. You guys are down in the Mark's Garage, a post office building. What about a serious arts center in Kaka'ako, for example, where the state steps in and puts some money in? That's been discussed before, and I wonder if there's any talk about it now, any possibility of it. I'll take my answer offline.
So the caller is asking about an art center, a possibility of a state-funded art center, perhaps in Kaka'ako or whatnot.
Art Space is an organization that has funded and built buildings in several other cities. They're planning one for Kaka'ako, and these are live-work places for artists. They are supposedly going to be offering these apartments at a reasonable rate for artists. I'm keeping a close eye on that, because a lot of what people say is a reasonable price is not really reasonable for artists, but these people do know what they're talking about. It will have performance space. What they're saying is it will have performance space, it will have some storage space for artists' stuff, gallery space, and studio space to work in. I am very, very hopeful that does actually happen. That is a private organization. They are planning on, I believe they already have the land for that.
Thank you, caller. So we're going to take a quick break once again, and when we come back, we're going to talk to Rich and Donna about their purpose for why they participate in these nonprofit organizations. Thank you.
Aloha, my name is Richard Emery, and I host Condo Insider. We talk about issues facing the condo association throughout Hawaii and talk about solutions. When you think about it, about 1/3 of our population lives in some form of common interest real estate. We broadcast every Thursday at 3 p.m. Please tune in and thank you. Aloha.
Aloha, my name is Justina Spiritu, and I'm the co-host of Hawaii Farmers Series. This is my co-host, Matthew Johnson, and you can catch us every Thursday at 4 p.m. at thinktechhawaii.com. What do we talk about, Matt?
So on Hawaii Farmers Series, we're going to be bringing on the farmers and also supporter of farmers, including restaurants, caterers, as well as government supporters and nonprofits to hear their background stories and understanding our local ag community just a little bit better.
Yeah, essentially there's a lot more that goes into farming and the local food community beyond just producing the food. And we want to feature and get the background story on all these folks and see how we all work together as a community. So join us every Thursday. Aloha.
Hi, and welcome back to Think Tech Hawaii. My name is Kim Lau, and this program is called Hawaii Rising. Today we have Donna Blnachard from Kumukuhui Theater and Rich Richardson from the Arts at Mark's Garage to talk about the importance of art and its impact in the local community. Welcome back. Thanks again for being here.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
us. Yeah.
So just to be clear, the Arts at Mark's Garage as well as Kumukuhui Theater are both nonprofit organizations.
Yes.
So why would you invest, and this is your job, this is your real job, so why would you invest your heart and soul and your time into these organizations? Why do you do this? What's your purpose?
Okay, I got a little story to go along with that. I learned that the word priority, when it first appeared in written form, was singular. And it remained singular for 400 years before someone decided to make that word plural. The original intention of the word priority is that it is all. You can only have one priority. And when I heard this, it was on a podcast on WYNC, and I heard it and I thought, I actually know what my priority is. I'm very clear about it. And I've been very clear about this for a long time, ever since I discovered this idea of, a friend of mine teaches in the MBA program in Elmhurst College in Chicago. And we were talking about diversity. And I said, well, from the perspective of an actor, diversity, it is very clear that we are all after the same thing. We all want to be loved. But you're driven by love or fear, everything. As an actor, I go through my script and I decided how each of those lines is motivated. My character, no one wakes up in the morning and decides I'm going to be evil and make people hate me. You are driven by love or fear. So it doesn't matter who I'm playing, what culture person I'm playing, what their background is. I believe I'm doing the right thing, right? So for the perspective of diversity, and she had me come in and I would talk with these MBA students, me with my BFA, about understanding things from a person's perspective. And when you look at it from an actor's perspective, you cannot help but see that very, very clearly. So I decided for myself a long time ago that my purpose in this world is to help spread the word. Behind you is being such a jerk if you just think, I don't know their story. They are not here to make my day miserable. Right. They have a reason for being a jerk. I just don't understand it. Let me just get out of the way and let them go. You cannot want to hate someone. You cannot want to kill them. You cannot want to leave them out if you understand their story. And sometimes it starts, from childhood. So Kumukuhua fulfills my priority in this world.
Right, it allows people to tell their story and get, that out there.
That is what it is, in a very safe environment. I said we do controversial stuff, but we are in a very safe environment. The lights are going to come back up. The show is going to end and you're going to be left with all of this wonderful conversation fodder moving forward. And I believe that the more we recognize that when you enjoy an art exhibit, when you enjoy a film, when you enjoy a piece of theater, you are experiencing humanity from someone else's point of view. And if we could just open that up and start realizing that the jerk behind you in traffic has a point of view also, I think it would solve a lot of problems in our world. So, world peace. What's yours?
Well, I think that's that art can speak to one across time and space, physical divides and divides of time. So when you behold a piece of artwork on the wall and it speaks to you from a different country, from a different period of time, that's an amazing act of communication.
Right.
And it makes me feel connected to something bigger than me.
It's like a universal language, right?
Right. So that's what I enjoy about it. And I also enjoy the idea that I can learn a little bit about artwork throughout my lifetime and never get it all. And there's so many avenues to explore. So it seems to provide a kind of rich myriad paths to take and provide enjoyment throughout your life. I'm starting to appreciate more and more how people create together and how the collaboration that happens at Mark's Garage is a part of what I've desired, perhaps subconsciously. That it's not just the lonely artist isolated doing their work alone and at night. It's more like, let's get together and solve problems and create some solutions for technology or societal ills or whatever. That creativity is useful in that way, and that collaboration is a big part of it.
And so we've talked about the importance individually as well as to the community and the economy, and Chinatown, downtown, it's such a revitalization of the space that we all exist in. So what, as an organization, do you need from the community? If you were to ask the community or people out there, what can people do to contribute to make this greatness keep happening? What can people do?
First of all, attend. Come and see what we're doing. Don't be afraid of downtown. Come and relish it. Both of us have really cool places to just hang out, to be there. Allow that artistic spirit within you to be touched by what we do, accept that you have it, and allow it to be touched. Enjoy those conversations that you have after the show, even if you don't like it. I had someone answer a survey. I asked on the survey, did you have any interesting conversations after this show? And the guy said, yeah, my wife and I talked for an hour about how much we didn't like your show. That's awesome. They talked for an hour. A piece of art gave them an amazing conversation for an hour that'll probably still come up,
Right.
That's what it's all about for us, when the curtain goes down, it's the conversation that continues. So get involved, just get on our mailing list, see what we're doing, come downtown, bring your friends. If you want to, if you have any inkling whatsoever, come to our classes. Send me an email and ask how you can get involved. We are the people on the street. We are run by a board of volunteers, committees of volunteers. If you just want to usher for a show, that's cool. If you want to be on our marketing committee,
so if people want to volunteer, or if they want to donate, they can also send you an email, right? Or
absolutely
call down on your cell phone.
We're happy to accept your money. You work with a company, call me on my cell phone. You work with a company that may be interested in sponsoring us to help assure that downtown continues to be thriving and it grows in its thrivation. I invented that word just now. Then we would happily accept your donations. We want you to come in and enjoy the shows. We want you to audition if you're interested. Come to a class. Just live and breathe with us a little bit.
And Rich, what can the community do for Arts and Marks?
Well, ours is real hands-on as well. We have chances to enjoy a show, to be in the audience, or to perform for the audience. So we have a couple of ways to get involved. We'll also really appreciate volunteers at the gallery in the front of the house to say hi to people that are visiting, or neighbors that are taking the afternoon off to get a little art fix or whatever. So that's really helpful. We have also a place to sign up for our monthly newsletter on our website, artsatmarks.com. So that's handy. But yeah, to get involved is the best way. Come on down on a first Friday. I'm sure there's a lot of people that have met in the gallery and probably never looked at the art, but enjoy the socialization. Right. We serve as a kind of town hall or a public square, I think, and I enjoy that function of Arts at Marks. That the artwork is almost, people just want to be together in a place that's fairly non-commercial.
And that's okay.
I like that about it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. If you, seriously, Mark's, the Arts at Mark's Garage it's always the first place I tell my friends, let's meet there for First Friday. You can go there during the day. They have an art gallery that's open every day during the week. You can go in and just be in an art gallery for a little while. And I got to toot your horn a little bit. It is a co-working space for artists. Nothing else like that. There are a couple of other very wonderful business co-working spaces, Buck's Jelly and Real Office Centers in Chinatown. Right. This is a co-working space for artists, and it creates really wonderful synergy. I think we're both of us need your support and deserve your support.
Well, thank you so much for being here today. And our show is coming to a close, but the art is for everyone, obviously, and the art has an amazing impact on the community that we live in. So thank you again for sharing your stories. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Again, this is Kim Lau with Hawaii Rising. Thank you for watching.